North Carolina's geography is weirder than you think. Did you know North Carolina holds a vortex of shipwrecks so vast it's earned the ominous nickname, the Graveyard of the Atlantic? Did you know that its rolling hills are actually the skeletal remains of mountains that may have once rivaled the Rockies? And that its highest peaks are capped with a mystery that scientists still can't completely solve? North Carolina's geography is far weirder than you were ever taught in school. Today, we're going on a journey from its shifting shores to its ancient peaks to expose the state's most bizarre natural and man-made wonders, the haunted coast. Our journey begins where the land meets the sea, on a chain of fragile shifting barrier islands known as the Outer Banks. These islands are beautiful, but they hide a deadly secret. This stretch of water is one of the most perilous nautical traps in the world, earning the name the Graveyard of the Atlantic. An estimated 5,000 ships have met their end here since record-keeping began in the 1500s. But why? This danger is a direct result of colliding geography and ocean currents. First, you have the islands themselves. They are essentially massive, constantly moving sandbars, which makes navigation a nightmare. Storms can carve new inlets overnight and close old ones, meaning a map that was accurate one week could be useless the next. Then, just offshore, you have a clash of titans. It's the spot where the cold, south-flowing Labrador Current collides with the warm, powerful Gulf Stream heading north. This collision churns the sea, creates notoriously unpredictable weather, and builds dangerous shoals that extend for miles from the capes, waiting to rip open the hull of any ship that strays too close. It was in these treacherous waters that the notorious pirate Blackbeard lost his flagship, the Queen Anne's Revenge, the wreck of which was discovered near Beaufort Inlet. For centuries, this deadly combination of shifting sands and warring currents made the North Carolina coast one of the most feared stretches of ocean in the world. But the shipwrecks aren't the coast's only mystery. Just a bit inland from the Graveyard of the Atlantic lies Roanoke Island, the site of one of America's most enduring historical riddles, the Lost Colony. In 1587, over 100 English settlers established a colony here. When their governor, John White, returned from a supply trip to England 3 years later, he found the settlement completely deserted. The only clues were the words Croatoan carved into a post and Kiaro on a tree. While historians have countless theories, the geography of the place was a central character in this story. The colony was isolated, surrounded by the vast and shallow Pamlico and Albemarle Sounds, making it difficult to access and even more difficult to farm. Tree ring data reveals their arrival coincided with the most extreme drought the region had seen in 800 years, which would have decimated their crops and strained their relationship with the local Socotan and Croatoan tribes. The leading theory today is that the colonists, facing starvation and isolation, chose to assimilate with the more welcoming Croatoan people on what is now Hatteras Island. The very landscape that made their survival so difficult may have also provided their only escape. The bizarre Piedmont moving west, we leave the sandy coast and enter the rolling hills of the Piedmont. This region, which means foot of the mountain, seems pleasant and unremarkable. But beneath the surface, the geology is telling a truly bizarre story. This isn't just any old dirt, and this is the Carolina Slate Belt. And it's special because for a brief, shining moment, it made North Carolina the gold capital of the United States. Long before the famous 49ers rushed to California, America's first gold rush happened right here. In 1799, a 12-year-old boy named Conrad Reed found a 17-pound yellow rock in a creek in Cabarrus County. For 3 years, his family famously used it as a doorstop, completely unaware of its value. When they finally had it identified, it kicked off a frenzy. Mines sprung up across the Piedmont as people realized the unique volcanic and sedimentary rocks of the Carolina Slate Belt were laced with gold. For the next few decades, North Carolina was the nation's leading producer of gold, supplying much of the gold coinage for the U.S. Mint before the California Gold Rush. It was a secret treasure hidden in plain sight, a geological anomaly that put the state on the map long before anyone had heard of Sutter's Mill. The odd geology of the Piedmont doesn't stop with gold. As you travel through the region, you might notice something strange. Among the gentle rolling hills, a few steep, rocky mountains jut out of the landscape, almost like ancient geological islands. Peaks like Pilot Mountain and the Uwharrie Mountains seem out of place. And that's because they are. These are not hills. They are the ancient skeletal remains of what was once a mighty coastal mountain range. About 500 million years ago, a collision of tectonic plates forced this land upward, creating peaks geologists believe may have once stood as tall as 15,000 to 20,000 feet. A chain as dramatic as the Rockies. Over hundreds of millions of years, relentless erosion wore them down, washing away the softer rock and leaving only these toughest, most resistant cores of quartzite and volcanic rock. So when you look at the modest Uwharrie Mountains, topping out at just over 1,100 feet, you're not seeing hills. You're seeing the deep ancient roots of a lost mountain range, one of the oldest in North America. But the Piedmont's weirdness gets even stranger. Deep in the woods of Chatham County lies a nearly 40-foot circle of barren earth where almost nothing will grow. For centuries, it has been known as the Devil's Tramping Ground. Legend says this is where the devil himself paces in a circle at night, contemplating his evil deeds, and his fiery footsteps scorch the earth, rendering it sterile. People claim that objects left in the circle are moved by morning, and that dogs refuse to enter it. Now, is there a scientific explanation? Maybe. Soil tests have shown the ground to be unusually sterile, with a high salt content that could inhibit plant growth. Other analyses found high levels of zinc and copper and an altered pH, but couldn't definitively conclude why plants won't grow there. While soil compaction and campfire remnants from modern visitors play a role, written accounts of the barren circle go back for centuries. It remains one of North Carolina's most unsettling and unexplained geographical quirks. From buried pirate ships to mountains that were once as tall as the Rockies, North Carolina is proving to be weirder than we thought. If you're enjoying this journey into the bizarre side of geography, take a second to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration. The Peaks and Mysteries of the West. Our final leg takes us into the Appalachian Mountains of western North Carolina. And this is where the state's geography gets truly epic. People often think of the Rockies as America's great mountain range, but the East Coast has a giant of its own. Mount Mitchell, located in the Black Mountain Range, stands at 6,684 feet, making it the highest peak east of the Mississippi River. But here's the truly weird part. It's not just Mount Mitchell. Of the 10 tallest mountains east of the Mississippi, 8 of them are right here in North Carolina. Mount Craig is number 2, and the list of giants continues from there, with Clingman's Dome and Mount Guyot just across the border in Tennessee also ranking in the top 4. This is because the southern Appalachians are geologically ancient. Formed by continental collisions hundreds of millions of years ago, they are far older than the jagged younger Rockies. They have spent eons being worn down by wind and rain, but their incredibly hard, erosion-resistant rock has allowed them to remain the kings of the East. This high elevation and unique geology has created another stunning feature. Just a short drive from the state's highest peaks, you can find Transylvania County, also known as the Land of Waterfalls. This one county is home to over 250 waterfalls, one of the highest concentrations in the entire United States. The steep elevation, drops, and abundant rainfall create the perfect conditions for cascades like the iconic Looking Glass Falls and Dry Falls, which you can actually walk behind. But our journey ends with a genuine scientific puzzle. As you hike to the summits of some of these high Appalachian peaks, like Roan Mountain, you'll break through the forest and find yourself in a vast, open meadow of grass and shrubs. These are known as Appalachian Balds, and nobody is entirely sure why they exist. These peaks are not high enough to be above the natural tree line, so by all ecological logic, they should be covered in dense spruce and fir forests. Yet they are mysteriously bare. For centuries, theories have abounded. Some said it was intense weather and ice. Others suggested Native Americans cleared them. A more recent and fascinating theory suggests they are ancient relics from the Ice Age, kept open by the grazing of prehistoric megafauna like mammoths and mastodons. When those giant herbivores died out, elk and bison may have continued the job. Today, without these large grazers, many of these balds are slowly being reclaimed by the forest, and conservationists are now working to maintain their unique, open character. These grassy balds are a living mystery, a window into a past landscape we still don't fully understand. From the graveyard of the Atlantic, where shifting sands and colliding currents swallow ships whole, to the Piedmont, where the ghosts of an ancient mountain range hide America's first gold rush, to the towering peaks of the West that hold a prehistoric secret, North Carolina is a state built on bizarre geography. It's a place where a simple patch of dirt can be a satanic legend, and a rolling hill can be the tombstone of a mountain chain. It just goes to show, if you look a little closer, even the most seemingly normal places have strange and wonderful stories to tell, written right into the land itself. The next time you look at a map of North Carolina, remember the secrets it's hiding just beneath the surface.